Hey everyone, it's Ashley Jablow from Wayfinders Collective. I'm surrounded by Post-its today. I'm doing a lot of workshop planning and designing. But today I wanted to talk with you in a new episode of Life Design School all about priorities. Priorities, it's like a four-letter word around here for me. I'm constantly trying to think about, how do I balance what's important to me, what do other people expect from me, how do I want to spend my time, and what do I want to work on. And I'm guessing that's true for you too, right? So today we're going to talk about priorities, and we're going to play with them a little using a tool I've created called the Wayfinders Temperature Check. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through this tool. I've taken countless coaching clients through it. It's one I use myself all the time to prioritize. I'm going to show you how it works and invite you to play along with me. And if you stay tuned to the end of the video, I have a free download available that'll take you right to the tool yourself. You can print it out and play along with me. Okay, so let's dive into priorities. If you have a big drawing space or piece of paper in front of you, like I have here, you can go ahead and set it out. You could do this on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper too. But sometimes I find that having it big is really helpful. And here's why, okay? So we're gonna start out with a circle. Just gonna test my circle drawing abilities live on camera. But we wanna start with this circle, and then inside I wanna draw 2 more circles, okay? So it's starting to look a little bit like a target. And again, testing my live drawing skills. What we wanna do now is we're gonna divide this kind of target, if you will, this radar, into a few different slices. Okay, so if you're following along with me, go ahead, draw something that looks like this. And here's how we're going to label these categories. Okay, so this first one up here we can call physical environment. And this one will be called career, money, health, friends and family, significant other, romance, personal growth, and finally, fun and recreation. Now, if you're like me, a parent with a young child, fun and recreation, well, we'll see. We get some of that, okay? Not much. In any event, these are the categories that I would suggest you start with when you're doing your first temperature check. In reality, you could list any number of these segments, but this is what I would offer for you to get started. So here's how this works. With this temperature check, you've got slices of a pie, or maybe a pizza we might think of. And the closer you get to the center of this pie, the more important these priorities get. Now in my case, I'm seeing I might have even wanted to draw this even bigger, so there's more space here. You'll see what I mean in a minute. But for now, think about it, everything in this inner ring, we would call a first order priority. Everything in this second ring, we would think of as a second order priority. And then everything on this outer ring, it's just like it sounds, it's a tertiary priority. It's important enough to make it on the list, but it's not as important as what's in the center. And so what you do from here for this temperature check is I want you to consider all of the ideas, questions, thoughts, concerns you might have as it relates to any of these categories. Okay, so here are some examples. Let's say physical environment could be really where you live, the space that you live in, the home that you're in, your city, your neighborhood. For me, a priority that I have with my physical environment is more green space. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that there for now. In my career, the priority that I want to talk about today is new challenges. That feels really important. I'm excited about and ready to take on new challenges. For money, this is probably one that we can all appreciate. I'd like to make more of it. I have other goals related to money too, but that's a big one for me right now. In terms of health, health could be food, it could be exercise. For me these days, it's all about sleep, okay? Friends and family, one thing I think about a lot as a new parent is like, how do you make friends as an adult? So that's something I'm thinking about, at least as it relates to friends. Significant other romance, I'd really love to see us commit to 1 date night a month. I think we actually do pretty well on that, but that's always on my radar. When it comes to personal growth, the thing I'm considering these days is, what about hobbies? How do I build some hobbies for myself? What might they be? And again, fun and recreation here, I've got just sort of like a, what is that all about? Because I'm still figuring out that balance of fun and parenting and work. So what I would invite you to do, you can pause the video and do this, or again, stay till the end of the video. I have the download for free that you can go and print out your own temperature check, where you can write in with a pencil. But what you'll do is you'll basically have a whole bunch of these Post-its, right? Or you could write with a pencil. And I want you to fill out the landscape of this temperature check. So you can have as many Post-its or notes as you want, but again, the idea is questions, ideas, concerns, whatever might be coming up as it relates to these pies. And then what I invite you to do is to step back and look and say, if these were all really number one priorities, and again, they can't really fit in the center here, so I have to redraw these at some point. But if I look at all of this and I think of it sort of as a holistic story, I can take a step back and say, well, what is the story that my priorities are telling me, right? If 8 hours of sleep really is so important to me, what's getting in the way of that? First of all, what's important about it? But then really, what needs to be true in order for me to get those 8 hours? And I can speak from experience. I'm working on that one right now. And what needs to be true is I need to put my phone down at about 7 o'clock so that I can calm down in time to go to bed. In any event, you can take a look and do the exact same thing. So looking at your priorities, what needs to be true in order for these things to actually be happening. So you can use this as a point of inquiry. This isn't to say that this is what my life looks like right now, but this is where I'd like it to be. And then the big step is examining where I am right now and where I want to go, and what is that distance between them, right? What is that distance? And again, what needs to be true in order for this to be my reality, if these are what's so important. At the end of this Wayfinder's temperature check, ideally you've filled out all of these segments with lots and lots of ideas or questions or things you're thinking about. I love to think about this exercise as kind of an unburdening, right? Taking my to-do list out of my head and putting it all on paper so that I can see it and begin to design for it. I'm curious though, what do you think? Does this seem like something you're interested in trying? Why don't you go ahead and type temperature check in the comments below and let me know that this is resonating, and let me know what you think. Well, there you have it, the Wayfinders Collective temperature check. What'd you think? It's kind of cool, right? To just be able to put everything out on paper in front of you, get it all out of your head. Stop worrying about the mental to-do list and your what-ifs and must-haves and need-to-bes. All of those, just put them on paper and organize them. Make a visual to be able to see what really does matter to you in terms of your priorities. How would you organize them? I'm doing this because I have mine in front of me right now. I'm ready to pull the Post-its off and do it again, right? Remember, the Post-its can be moved. You can move things around. This is really your opportunity to make sense of the jumbled mess of priorities that you have in your head, the things you care about, the things you feel pulled by, or even the people and relationships that you feel like are pulling you in different directions. This is your chance to say what really matters to me, and then to be able to really understand and determine, like I said, what is the gap between where you are right now and where you want to be. I hope this was helpful. If you go to bit.ly/WFC temp check, you can see it right there. You can find the Wayfinders temperature check. It's right there for you to download and use. It's a free tool, and I hope you make use of it. Print it out. There's some great reflection questions there as well to get you started and thinking about this process as you learn. And I'm curious, what do you think? Is this going to be helpful? Have you tried something like this before? Let me know in the comments. Share what works, share what questions you have. I would love to talk with you more about it. Until next time, have a great week.